The Babylonian story of the creation according to the tradition of Qatar. Translated by the editor. Besides the story of the creation in a series of successive acts, Mr. George Smith brought to HGHT the fragments of 2 tablets containing another legend of the creation which varied very considerably from it. The tablets belonged to the library of Zorbanipal at Nineveh, but the colophon informs us that they had been copied from older documents which came from the library of Qatar, now Tel Ibrahim, in Babylonia. The text has never been published, but a translation was given of it by Mr. Smith in his Chaldean Genesis, and a revised version by myself in the Records of the Past, Volume 11. As much progress has been made in cuneiform studies during the 10 years which have elapsed since the latter was published, I now give another translation of the inscription, embodying the improvements which our increased knowledge of the Assyrian language has enabled me to make. The Cuttian legend, it will be observed, knows nothing of a creation in successive acts. Chaos is a period when as yet writing was unknown. But the earth already existed, and was inhabited by the chaotic brood of Tiamat, imperfect first attempts, as it were, of nature, who lived in a city underground. They were destroyed, not by Merodach, the god of Babylon, but by Nergal, the patron deity of Qatar, who is identified with Nera, the god of pestilence, and Ner, the mythical monarch of Babylonia who reigned before the deluge. The words of the poem are put into the mouth of Nergal, and the poem itself was written for his great temple at Qatar. The legend of Qatar agrees better with that reported by Birdsos than does the legend of the epic. In both alike we have a first creation of living beings, and these beings are of a composite nature, the offspring of Tiamat or chaos. In both alike the whole brood is exterminated by the gods of light. The date to which the legend in its present form may be assigned is difficult to determine. The inscription is written in Semitic only, like the other creation tablets, and consequently cannot belong to the pre-Semitic age. It belongs, moreover, to an epoch when the unification of the deities of Babylonia had already taken place, and the circle of the great gods was complete. Ea, Istar, Zemama, Anunnat, even Nebo and Samas, are all referred to in it. Possibly it may be dated in the age of Kamuragasa. BC 2350. The Youth and Legend of the Creation. Column I. Many lines are lost at the commencement. His word is the command of the gods, his glancing white instrument is the glancing white instrument of the gods. He is Lord of that which is above and that which is below, the Lord of the spirits of earth. Who drinks turbid waters and drinks not clear waters. In whose field that warrior's weapon all that rests has captured and destroyed. On a tablet he wrote not, he opened not the mouth and bodies and produce. He caused not to come forth in the land, and I approached him not. Warriors with the body of a bird of the valley, men with the faces of ravens. Did the great gods create? In the ground the gods created his city. Tiamat gave them suck. Their progeny the mistress of the gods created. In the midst of the mountains they grew up and became heroes and increased in number. 7 kings, brethren, appeared as begetters. 6,000 in number were their armies. The god Barnini their father was king, their mother the queen was Melilai. Saja, their eldest brother who went before them, Memangab was his name. Their second brother, Medudu was his name. Their third brother, Memanpak was his name. Their fourth brother, Medada was his name. Their fifth brother, Memantak was his name. Their sixth brother, Miruru was his name. Their seventh brother, Mirara was his name. Many lines are destroyed, the evil curse, he turned his word, I arranged, on a tablet the evil curse he wrote. I urged the augurs on. 7 against 7 in breadth I arranged them. I set up the holy reeds. I prayed to the great gods, Istar, Zemama, ununit, need, and Samas the warrior, the son of the moon god, there, of the gods my couriers. He did not give, and thus I spake to my heart, saying verily it is I, and never may I go beneath the dust. Never may I go, the prayer. May I go when the sun, my heart, and may I renew the iron, may I assume the black garment. The first year as it passed, 120,000 warriors I caused to go forth, and among them, not one returned alive. The second year as it passed I caused 90,000 soldiers to go forth and none returned alive. The third year as it passed I caused 60,700 to go forth, and none returned. They were carried away, they were smitten with sickness. I ate. 25. I lamented, I rested. Thus did I speak to my heart saying, verily it is I. And yet what have I left to reign over? I am a king who makes not his country whole, and a shepherd who makes not his people whole. Since I have produced corpses and have left a desert, with terror of men, night, death and plague have I cursed it. With fear, violence, destruction and famine, I have effected the overthrow of all that exist. 6. The descended. I caused a deluge. That deluge, all the foundations of the earth were shaken. The gods. Thou didst command me, and, sit they are created. Q. 14. Thou protectest, a memorial of drinking and, in supplication to Ea, holy memorial sacrifices, Psalm Matnisai. This passage shows that Solemn Mount cannot signify brilliance, as Jensen supposes. Holy laws, I called the sons of the augurs, 7 against 7 in breadth I arranged them. I placed the holy reeds, implored the great gods, Istar, Zemama, Amunat, Nebo, and Samas the warrior, the son of the moon god, there, of the gods my couriers, with the men, the Sitinak, a city which, 2, powerful king, the gods, my hand, thou, O king, high priest, shepherd, or anyone else, whom the god shall call to rule the kingdom. This tablet I have made for thee, this stele I have inscribed for thee, in the city of Qatar in the temple of Sulim, in the ark of Nergal I have left it for thee. Hearken to the voice of this stele, and remove it not, forget it not, fear not, tremble not. May he establish thy seat. Mayst thou achieve success in thy works. Build up thy fortresses. Fill thy canals with water. May thy papyri, thy corn, thy silver, thy goods, thy property, and thy furniture, all of them, be multiplied. Strengthen there, for thy hands. 25. Make perfect the stores of thine increase. As for the evil one thou shalt cause him to go forth. As for the harmful one thou shalt enchain him.